Now, first things first, for this PTK meeting, I have a couple of sign-in sheets or sign-up sheets going around. What they contain is I'd like you to sign up if you're interested in going to the regional convention, which is in Fairhope. So we don't have much travel, although we do have hotel reservations to stay in Fairhope, so we won't have to come back and forth. That's generally a good thing because on Saturday, usually stuff starts at about 8 or 9, so it'll prevent us from getting up early and all that sort of stuff. There is a tentative agenda that I received yesterday for regional convention. I'll send it out to you guys. My question is, does anybody want to run for regional officer? And that goes for anybody that's watching the video. And what that would involve is you'd have to be here next year. Did you raise your hand, Nathan? Awesome. I can get you the application. But if you are interested, what that would involve is you would have to attend a few extra regional meetings. We would have to get support based on the fact that Faulkner's chapter has our regional president. I think it's a pretty good bet that we could get college support for your travel. And you'd be working on the regional project and attend a few extra meetings, but it's not like a full-time job or something like that. Now, if you want to be president, that does involve more because then we would be hosting the regional convention. So I would have to get permission for that. But if you just want to be an officer, I'm sure we can just go ahead with that. But I can send you all the stuff, the job description, what's expected, what you have to do to run, all that sort of stuff. And that's the 3rd and 4th of March, so we're about a month away from regional convention. Now, what do we do at regional convention? Usually it's good networking with other schools in Alabama. On Friday night, we'll do some fun stuff with other chapters. They did a lot of fun stuff last year in terms of team building activities, leadership activities, but it was very casual. Then on Saturday, there's usually a transfer fair. So if you're not sure where you want to go, there's lots of schools that can tell you exactly how much money they can give you at the regional convention. In addition to that, they have the awards luncheon. As far as I know, we met all the requirements to be 5-star. We certainly have 4-star status, if nothing else. The only question is we turned in an application nominating Dr. Blow as for the esteemed administrator award. And although we turned in a great application, they said he wasn't eligible because you have to be here for 3 years before you're eligible for the award, which I missed in the fine print, but I don't know if submitting the application or submitting a valid application is what you have to do. So that if we got 4-star, that would be the reason. But you know, you get a few nice meals. You get to see another campus at our own school. It help you guys be student leaders, coming back to campus and letting other students know what other campuses are available to us. That's regional convention, and if you're watching online, if you want to go to regional convention, I need your name, email address, and a phone number so I can contact you because I'm going to have to get those applications in relatively soon. International convention, the 6th through the 9th of April. I have been promised some support from the foundation. He was asking for some details yesterday, which I gave him promptly and haven't heard back from him. But I feel confident we'll get our hotel and registration fees covered. So at most you might have to pay for the bus out of your own pocket and stuff while you're there. So limited costs for students. That same deal if you want to go to the international convention. I need your name, email address, phone number, so I can start the process of registering us. And that's the 6th through the 9th of April. We may leave a little later, we may come back a little sooner, but that's the dates that we have right now. Okay, that's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we'll be back sometime on Sunday. It depends on when we leave. A lot of times to avoid paying an extra hotel night, they'll leave after the dance on Saturday night and drive through the night to get back home. Now Nashville's a little closer than DC, so that's a good thing. And if I take the bus, I promise I'll wear my sleep mask so I don't snore as much this time. Apparently I was voluminous on the last bus ride. Okay, so again, that's the sign-in sheet for if you're, and this is just if you're interested. If you sign the sheet, you're not committed. We probably have a budget for 5 or 6 students to go to international. Regional, we could go beyond the number of people that could fit in the hotel rooms because you could always commute back and forth. I don't know if I'll do that, but no, with my own bed only an hour and a half away, that's fairly tempting, but we'll see. I don't think they would like me to leave you guys, even though you're all grown-ups, as far as the world is concerned, by yourselves. Okay, membership is open. I sent out the list to JCC all students. You should have gotten a Canvas message about it. We're eligible. If you see somebody you know who is eligible on that list, all PTK members should really focus on getting them in. We had a very good first day, or first week rather. I think we had 7 or 8 people accept, which is pretty good for a college of our size, but I would like to double that. I'd like to see us, get about 15 to 20 people. Had actually more people eligible than I've ever had since I've been the advisor. A great number of people who are eligible, and I'm getting feedback from some people that may have not been on the list. So this is all really good stuff, and let's encourage those people, since it's only that one-time fee, and if they're going to have trouble paying for it, have them come see me. I'll see if I can get some money out of our budget if we have financially strapped students for one reason or another. That's a rare case, but if the money is really an issue, please tell them to come talk to me. All right, in the interest of getting our Honors in Action started earlier this year, I'm going to send out the Honors in Action survey since we do 2-year blocks of the topic this week. And I want to narrow down the theme, and before we go on Easter break, so before International Convention, I want a topic chosen. So those of you who go to International Convention can go to seminars with an idea of how you could implement the information. Now, I am meeting with Dean Jones today to talk about someone replacing me as the lead advisor. That doesn't mean I will stop being involved with PTK. I'll be kind of like I am my involvement with Honors, where I'm there and I help, and I'll probably go on a lot of the trips and maybe moderate work days and stuff. It's just I don't have time to plan the meetings, work with officers, go on all the trips since I become division chair. It's just too much. So if you guys have any of your teachers that you would like to see as the PTK advisor, come see me after the meeting, or if you're watching the video, email me your suggestions. I want you guys to start thinking about the 2017 officer team. I want our new officer team, at least a few people, before we go to regional convention in a month. So at our next meeting, I am going to be taking requests for the 2017 officer team, since PTK goes on the calendar year as opposed to the school year. So if you're interested in being an officer or returning as an officer, if you've been one this year and are coming back next year, please shoot me an email and let me know. Okay. Another reason for doing it early is I want to have a lot of this stuff in place if I am allowed to have a replacement. So then I can work on transitioning and getting the officer team and the new advisor to mock chapter over the summer to get them familiar with everything. So we don't have a scramble in January. And part of that was out of our control because we wanted to go to the nuclear power plant, which I'm going to get a report from you guys here in a minute. I don't like turning stuff. I would rather have everything turned in by January 15th rather than January 26th or 27th, whenever it's due. Okay, well, one of you gentlemen, I would like to invite either Nathan or Tristan to come up here and tell both the video audience and the rest of the members about the power plant trip, just as kind of a report. So Tristan's coming up. Awesome. Lunch.
Well, it took a while, and Dr. Willis's outstanding resolve, I'll put that in quotation marks, to get the power plant to actually give us the tour. But it was very, very informative. I just wish that we could have done it earlier. It probably would have helped out the project a lot if they would have actually scheduled it earlier. But we got to see how everything works. They didn't let us into the actual generator rooms or anything like that, but we got to see all the cooling towers. He talked about all the safety measures, which is it's an astounding amount of safety. Like I feel a lot better about nuclear power. I was never really scared of it like the general public seems to be, but after seeing all the extensive training and everything everybody has to go through that runs it, dozens of countermeasures and safety ordinances they have to follow. It's a really good experience, and it helped out the project a lot. Would have helped out a lot if we went sooner though.
Thanks to your use of technology.
Well, there's nothing quite like the public Twitter shame to get a company to pay. That's what actually it turned out, and I guess that's a tip for you guys. If you're getting in the runaround at a big company, something, pepper that social media.
What did you actually say on Twitter about it? Like, how did you?
That I called several times and we're being ignored. We're a school group. We're trying to learn about this stuff, And after it ended up being 4 or 5 tweets, and then I got a call the next day.
Wow.
Setting it up. So apparently, whoever's in charge of social media, which it was kind of a sticky situation for me because my brother-in-law does work for Southern Company. I don't want to mention his name, but he's a fairly high up executive. Now we have different last names, of course, since he's my brother-in-law, so that helped keep him anonymous.
I think our tour guide is actually the communications director.
Yeah,
Yes.
And he was, and he didn't. It turns out the person I was calling, I think, was his assistant, and she never got back to me.
So she's not.
He was very informed.
Yes. And once he finally figured out that we had been trying to put together a tour, it was very apologetic. Sorry, I'm not sure I've gotten 10 hours of sleep this whole week, so combined. My 10-year-old, for some reason, is reverting back to being a toddler because he's up at like midnight for no reason. And so, all right, any questions, comments? One thing on fundraisers. My clearance sale on Priesters is ongoing. Please encourage people, especially get the damn pies out of my freezer. So if you want to bring a pie to the Super Bowl, Super Bowl party this weekend, please let me know. But this last bit of sales, since it's been all profit, looks like it's going to get us to the point where they will allow us to buy the popcorn machine finally. I haven't given up on Popcorn Wednesdays. Just like I haven't given up on putting signs on all the buildings, which was our college project 3 years ago that got stuck in bureaucracy. Just because it's been nixed doesn't mean I give up on it. So, and the popcorn machine was never nixed. It was just with the merger, since they didn't know how much our allocation was going to be for these campuses, they really strictly limited the budgets. They couldn't increase our budget. They couldn't rob Peter to pay Paul, essentially, knowing that there would be income coming in later because of the uncertainty with the merger. So now that there's a little less uncertainty, I should finally be able to put in that purchase order. So that's it for today. Any questions, comments? The price list for the pecans is on the message that I sent out to the whole campus. All right, thank you. And if you're watching at home, give me the information for regional, international. Yeah, that's it. All right, have a good week, couple weeks, everybody.